Hey YouTube, it's Terrence Barker right here, and I got something to say.
Who commits the crimes in this situation?
Who commits the crimes? Well, it's mostly teenagers, anywhere between the ages of 15 and 19, mostly male, blacks, and Hispanics.
Okay. Who are you stopping?
Everybody. I stop everybody.
54 tabs up to 820.
I'm not targeting anybody. First of all,
Well, you just told me who bad guys are.
yeah, I know that, but there's also other people who are committing violations as well. I'm not saying that there's not violations being made.
Male blacks that you commit the crime?
Plenty of people that write summonses too are male blacks and male
Stop 2
Hispanics.
male blacks.
Not for the whole year. And I have, you're telling me for the whole year I only stopped 2 male blacks for summonses.
820. 7 Hispanics, 7 other, 10 whites, 3 Asians. So where are you targeting the perps that you just told me?
Well, like I said, if I don't see a perp jumping over the turnstile, what am I supposed to do to him? That's what I'm saying.
These people are not going to pop.
How do I know that?
50% chance
A female Hispanic that I stopped, that she said they did pop actually for a warrant, and I arrested her. The Hispanics that were supposed to be going after that are committing the crimes. The people that I'm targeting everybody.
2 male blacks.
Whoever's out there. If I catch.
So you only saw 2 male blacks jump the turnstile?
If you're saying that's what's in front of you, then yes, that's all I saw. There's 2 male blacks for the whole year jumping the turnstile. That's what you're saying is in front of you. I stop everybody. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking at any nationality, any race, any gender. Whoever goes through and commits a violation, I am stopping.
All right, YouTube, as you seen up in the video, you see a cop getting what looks or appears to be a review, work performance review, and it seems like he doesn't want to be biased towards other races, so that's why he said he's not targeting anybody. He's just targeting those who violate the rules. And it seems like his chain of command wants him to target specific groups. That's why he said, who commits the crime?
Pennington Cop, and I'm back. I wanted to give you some insight, more insight on how police life works behind the scenes. You know, everyone knows there's no such thing as a quota. No such thing as a quota. They can't tell us how many arrests to make, how many tickets to write. But again, let me share something with you.
Now in this video, we're gonna have another perspective about quotas.
Last night, we had a robbery that occurred. Bad guy wasn't caught. You know, that happens 9 times out of 10. We're usually there after the fact. Now let's see, shift arrest. We had a bench warrant for DWLS, driving while license suspended. We had another arrest, no valid DL, resisting without violence. So the person probably lied about their name, found out he didn't have a license. Next arrest, no valid driver's license. Next arrest, DWLS, driving while license suspended, with knowledge. That makes it, that escalates. I believe that's a criminal offense at that point. The next arrest, possession of marijuana under 20 grams, misdemeanor. Next arrest, well, I should say, the possession of marijuana under 20 grams, others also charged the person with possession of meth and possession of, yeah. So I guess that one person was charged with 20 grams under, and maybe the passenger was also charged with possession of marijuana. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrests, and 4 were for driving infractions, no license or invalid license.
So he starts the video off talking about quotas, and then how they can't really make them talk about or enforce a quota. Then he comes into the video, says there was a robbery, then he starts talking about arrest. Let's see how this ties together.
And how does the command staff respond to that? Great proactivity, Midnights. Keep up the good work. Again, they didn't catch the robbery guy, but 6 people are in jail for misdemeanors, and that's great. That's keeping society safe. Now, that's how police work happens. That's what goes on behind the scenes. You make a lot of arrests, you're doing a great job. Even though they're petty BS arrests, no license, you didn't ask the government for permission, so you got to go to jail. You know, at no point are we taught people have a right to travel because, you know, case law said you need a license. there's a lot of case law saying people have a right to travel. But we don't get into that because that's counterproductive to what we do when we have to put people in jail. So there you have it. That's proactivity. Lots of misdemeanor arrests.
So what is this cop right here saying? To a degree, we don't really know. Why? Because he wasn't too clear on his full point. All we can do is speculate a little bit on what he was saying. But from the gist of it, it looks like he's saying, hey, yo, there was a real criminal out there with a robbery, but we got all this arrests from a bunch of misdemeanors, not busting real bad guys. You know what I mean? And we could have did this and fixed a lot of these problems with conversations or tickets or being a mediator or serving the community in those ways. Small infractions. We could have handled that with simple things. However, good policing is considered arresting people, not actually serving the community by helping them out with maybe a ticket or two with a small infraction, or conversations of mediation, or trying to refer them to drug rehab or all other things, That's what it kind of seems like, but once again, we are only speculating a little bit because he wasn't too clear on his full point. Why? Don't know. Maybe because he's still working. Can't really sit here and say, but hey.
Big prisons are extending their reach beyond jail cells to make more money off incarcerated people. The number of people incarcerated is going down in the United States, but more inmates means more money, and private prisons are looking to make a profit by providing their own services with almost no oversight by the government.
So in all three videos, what do we get? Well, one, we get that there are some quotas out there that are off the books. And some of these captains and these higher ups with these police officers are forcing police to target specific people and specific groups. Then in the other video, we get that there's no real quotas, but police work, like good police work, is actually considered arresting people over minor infractions, or just arresting people, period. Instead of actually helping out and serving the community. Then in the final video, we see that prisons are actually making a profit. More prisoners, more people locked up, the more money they get. So we got some things we got to talk about. Now, when it comes to me, I'm not against cops, and I'm pretty much for them. I do believe in that we need cops. We need them within our community. However, from what I'm seeing, some of the system right there tailors to bad policing tactics or things that can get out of hand. One, why? Because you're targeting certain groups. We all know what that leads to. As a black male, I cannot deny that is not a good thing, especially with what his command was saying. Why are you not targeting these specific groups? That's unjustly right there. Then another thing is, certain situations just require you to, socially handle things and be a mediator. You don't always need to make an arrest. How does this happen about? Pretty much this prison for profit and how police have to be reviewed. In a way, this shows that some cops don't want to do the things that they do, but they are kind of forced to do it. So what did we learn from them videos? On one side, you have police, sitting here saying that they care about the community and that their lives matter too. Then on the another side, you have the black community sitting here saying that they over police. And you know what? It seems like both sides are telling the truth. Why? Because who are they targeting? As you seen in that video, evidently, they have to target a certain group. Then, on the other side, you do see certain police that care, but then the job is kind of like on the line. So both sides are being oppressed, but both sides are also telling the truth, but nobody's getting to the bread and butter of this conversation. What we have to talk about is, how do we get into these situations? Yeah, I'm simplifying in certain areas. I get that. I mean, I don't know everything that is being broken down. I get that too. But we are not having a conversation about how we got here. What we're doing is we're having a conversation on why we do not agree. We need to have the conversation on how we got here so we can learn to agree on some things to handle the solution. Get what I mean? That is what is happening in America today. People are being divided versus brought together through education and research. We are not talking about, how to handle the problems and attack the problems. We're talking about why we're against each other's party. And who's leading that? Media and politicians. Those in power who own these politicians. Those in power who control this media. What we need to do is come together and do some research and go talk to these police precincts on why they have to do some of these things. Talk to some of these officers on why and what's going on. And then talk to some of these community activists and these Black Lives Matter groups and everybody else out here in these streets that go through these things on why they don't like it and what they want to change. We have to come together and realize that we are a people and work our way up out of this. Because evidently, everybody else is not handling the problem correctly. It's already been proven. We on our own for this one. So since these politicians can't help us, what we need to do is put in our new folks and vote them the heck out and tell them what we want. We need to start presenting our own bills, putting them up on the table and tell them how it's going to go down. Because guess who they work for? My tax dollars pay your bills. So if you don't do what I want, you need to get the hell out. Straight up.